I want to show you what you can expect if you join Reseller Tax Academy. So after going through this intro, I'm going to post the entire first lesson so you can watch it right here and get a better sense for how it can help you. You can use the link below to go to resellertaxacademy.com and get a detailed view of the exact lessons and modules included in the course. We talk about the different types of tax you're subject to, how to estimate that tax, the optimal structure for your business, how to account for and deduct inventory, all the different deductions you should be taking, what to do if you find yourself in a bit of a tax mess, and we even touch on a bit of bookkeeping. But overall, the purpose of this course is to empower you with the awareness of what you need to be doing throughout the year so that when tax time comes, the savings are already in place. There's only so much a professional can do when you come to them with a tax mess. Most of the damage has already been done. It's sort of like if you were to visit the dentist after a year of not brushing your teeth. He or she can definitely make an impact in minimizing the damage, but the results won't be anywhere near what they could have been had you sat down with the dentist at the beginning of that year and made a plan for your dental health. That's what Reseller Tax Academy is from a tax perspective. It's designed to help you optimize your situation so that you have the peace of mind to focus on the other important aspects of your business. Lesson number 1 doesn't get too much into the weeds of tax rules. It's more about giving you a sense of just how important taxes are in the overall context of your goals, and I think it'll help you decide if it's for you. So with that, welcome to Reseller Tax Academy. Welcome to Module 1, Lesson number 1, Taxes and Your Goals as a Business Owner. Here's what you'll discover in this lesson: how to see the big picture of taxes in context of your goals, and how doing so will bring peace of mind and reduce stress. How you can use taxes as a catalyst for profitability and not just for government compliance. And ultimately, this is a course about creating a profitable business that will enable you to achieve your ultimate goals. So what are your goals as a business owner? Everyone starts selling online for a reason. Have you ever thought about what your reason is, or what your reasons are? Perhaps it was to list items for hours at a time. Or maybe it was to haggle with vendors or sort through your death pile. Maybe you like dealing with returns or going to the post office, or maybe you like providing customer service. I think it's safe to say that nothing on this list is a compelling reason for why you started an online business. And you most likely didn't go into business to become a tax expert. So let's talk about your goal as a business owner. In general, I think most people would agree that the goal is to generate a profitable return on the investment of your money, your time, and your effort. But I think there's always something more than this. I think that the ultimate goal is to improve your life or the lives of others in some way. Your definition of improving your life might not be the same as someone else's. For me, I've always been interested in making money and how I can make more of it, but it's not about the money itself. It's about what it represents and the flexibility it provides. For me and for many of us, it's having security and supporting our families. I try to provide excellent service to my CPA business clients and Amazon business customers so I can improve their lives, be profitable, and ultimately improve my life and the lives of my family members. This is a picture of 3 of my 4 kids. Here they are at the island of Ometepe in Nicaragua, where we lived for 1 year. My wife and I had the goal for years after getting married to move our family abroad. That was the goal, and I thought about it all the time. In addition to my corporate job as a senior financial analyst and later a financial controller, I started doing my own CPA work on the side. 1, to see if I enjoyed it, and 2, to generate some extra income. And my wife taught violin both privately and at the local college, and having something concrete to work toward gave us a strong focus and sense of purpose until finally the day came when it was time to sell our house, pack up the kids, and head to Central America. We had the adventure of a lifetime, and that's a whole other story. And that all has to do with the fact that the degree to which you can optimize your business profitability will directly impact your end goal of enhancing your life. It's important to recognize the relationship between having a successful business and what that means for your life and for your ultimate goals. People talk about their why. They'll post a picture on social media of their family or their kids or their dog or their boat or whatever, or something that matters to them, and say, "This is my why," meaning this is why I do what I do. So that's what this is referring to. So I want you to think about, what is your why? What is your end goal? This is the last picture I'll show you of my family. One of my whys or ultimate goals is creating memorable experiences for my kids that enrich their lives and enhance their character. It would have been more difficult and stressful to make that happen if I had decided to be a public accounting employee for the rest of my life. Deciding to become self-employed has given me more flexibility to pursue a direction more in line with our family goals. After doing Nicaragua for a year, we decided we wanted to go and do the same thing in Mexico, but then COVID happened and shot those plans out of the water. We ended up going a year later than we planned, and this time just for 2 months. It was an awesome experience and is something we'll always remember. And I'm just sharing these as examples of having a goal beyond growing your business or becoming profitable. And again, your definition of improving your life won't be the same as someone else's. It won't necessarily be travel. I'm getting to the point where I'm no longer a young adult and seeing how fast kids grow up, how quickly parents age, dealing with layoffs and a cancer diagnosis, my perspective on life and work is continually changing. And the more I agree with the early 20th century economist John Maynard Keynes, who said, in the long run, we're all dead. In other words, YOLO. And for you boomers out there, that means you only live once. And by the way, my kids think I'm a boomer, but I keep telling them that I'm an elder millennial. Thank you very much. In economics and finance, you'll hear talk of the short term and the long term. In my college classes, when we would talk about our long-term investments, 30 or 40 years down the road, it was crazy to think that by that time I'd be 50 or 60 years old. Life is just passing too quickly to not be clear on our ultimate goals. So let's talk about how taxes fit into all of this. Almost every business owner has asked these questions at one time or another. What other taxes might I be missing? Am I doing it correctly? How can I avoid more surprises? How can I get a system so I can actually focus on my business? Many business owners have learned the hard way through experience paying penalties and interest on tax that they didn't even know existed. And that just makes them more paranoid. We've all heard this quote by Ben Franklin where he says, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. Like it or not, taxes are a given. Rather than let anxiety and stress consume us for our entire lives, it makes so much more sense to accept taxes as part of our business to learn how to play the game." Taxes are a huge source of anxiety for business owners. From having interacted with thousands of business owners through social media and through working with my own clients, I have a pretty good idea about how much of a worry and source of anxiety that taxes are to business owners and to individuals. As part of preparing this course, I sent out a survey to a small group, and one of the questions was, where do taxes fall on the list of your biggest business frustrations? Over half of respondents said that taxes were at least an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10 of their biggest business frustrations. Think about it. If you enrolled in this course, taxes are likely a constant concern somewhere in the back of your mind. This type of lingering doubt is a source of worry, stress, and anxiety that takes away time and energy that would be better spent on building your business. Think of all the things you have to do in your business to manage the day-to-day to help it grow. For many business owners, they really might only touch taxes once a year, and yet most still consider it to be one of the biggest frustrations they face in business. Considering that taxes are not part of our daily business tasks, it really says something that they're among the biggest frustrations that business owners face. That gives you a sense of how big of a deal taxes are. Within the same survey, I asked a simple question of how the individual felt about taxes. 32% said they felt clueless. 19% said they felt scared to death. That's over 50% that are either clueless or scared to death. 32% said they know they need a better process and are constantly wondering if they're missing something. Another 12% said it's painful, but they make it happen. And only 5% said that they feel that they have a good process in place. Think about the implication of these two questions. If done right, dealing with taxes shouldn't take us more than a few hours a year. Compare that to the other tasks you perform in your business that you spent hundreds of hours doing, and yet we allow this little thing that should only take us a few hours per year cause us a wildly disproportionate amount of stress and anxiety. I want to ask you this question, and I think I might already know the answer. Do you ignore taxes? Sometimes if we ignore things for long enough, they'll just go away. But with taxes, it's sort of a paradox, because the more we ignore them, the more letters we can get from the IRS, and the more stress and problems it can cause for us. During my college years, I took a bunch of different business courses, and in almost every one of them, except for my tax class, the homework problems would always give a situation with some numbers, but then at the end of the problem, a lot of them would say, ignore the impact of taxes, or simply ignore income taxes. Unfortunately, in real life, we do not have that luxury, because as Benjamin Franklin said, it's one of the most certain things in life that we can count on. Here's another question I want to pose. Do taxes add value? I want to talk about the concept of a value-added activity. A value-added activity is any activity that ultimately adds value for the customer, and you can't eliminate it without impairing your process. So an example of a value-added activity would be efficient sourcing or preparing quality inventory listings or shipping inventory on time. These are all things that customers are willing to pay for and therefore have a direct positive influence on your business. An example of a non-value added activity would be checking email or organizing your desk, waiting on the phone, dealing with defective returns. While taxes is not something that most people would list as a value-added activity, I think that indirectly it can be. It's for sure that if you eliminate attending to your taxes, it will eventually severely impair your process. So what if I neglect my taxes? Some might say, well, I've been ignoring my taxes for years and nothing bad has ever happened to me. And I'd say, yeah, in the short term, you can probably fly under the radar. But long term, it'll catch up with you, or as I like to say, you're toast. So let's look at taxes in relation to your end goals. I want you to think about optimizing your taxes as a long-term value-adding activity. Again, it's not the same as optimizing your listings and providing awesome customer service, which if you neglect, you will see immediate negative effects. Neglecting taxes is something that would take longer to make an impact on your business, but when it does, it'll do so in a big way. So when you learn what you need to do, how to do it, when to do it, and have a routine, suddenly you will have replaced stress and worry with confidence and peace of mind. And you'll experience increased productivity, more profitability, and you'll make progress toward your end goals. And that's the purpose of this course, to help you create a profitable business that will allow you to achieve your ultimate goals by showing you how to optimize your tax situation. So hopefully now you can more clearly see the relationship between taxes and reaching your ultimate goals. Taxes themselves won't get you there, but having a basic understanding of them and staying on top of them will allow you so much more mental, emotional, and even financial freedom to build your business and pursue your dreams. Now we're ready to go into the next lesson, where we'll go a level deeper and talk about just how much tax knowledge you need to have. See you there.